Luka Doncic is just 23 years old and has already engraved his name into countless record books. In just his 4th season in the NBA, he's had one of the most dominant starts to a career in NBA history. He's not only cemented himself as one of the best Mavericks ever, but also accomplished things many players can hardly even dream of. Here are Luka Doncic facts even the biggest Dallas Mavericks fans don't know. Playoff point guard. Now, this fact can be taken with a grain of salt, but it's technically true. Luka Doncic has the highest playoff points per game average of all time through 13 games. The Slovenian megastar has put up 33.5 points a contest, besting even Michael Jordan's record average of 33.4 through 179 games. Now, while this number will undoubtedly fluctuate, as of right now, Luka's at the top, and only time will tell which way the trend turns. 40-point triple-double. It has been said already that at just 23 years old, Doncic has done things that other players can only dream of, and for many, even that's hard.
Got it! There it is! In the corner, Luka! Oh! Goes in!
He's one of the 2 players to record a 40-point triple-double before turning 21, and he's in this club with none other than his biggest idol ever, the king himself, LeBron James. Playoff debut record. We've already heard that he's a playoff point guard, but he also holds the record for the most points in a playoff debut. Luka put the NBA notice when he threw down 42 points in his playoff debut against the LA Clippers. His outstanding performance even surpassed John Williams' forever-standing record of 38 points, which was achieved far back in 1979 with the Brooklyn Nets. 10th triple-doubler. Out of everything we've covered so far, this one might just be the most impressive thing Luka has accomplished in his young career so far. The Wonder Boy has managed to tally 46 triple-doubles to date, and is currently trailing Larry Bird in 9th place with 59. But let me put things in perspective here. It took Larry Bird 13 years to get to 59, and it took Luka 4 years to get to 46, and he's still yet to reach his physical prime. You can see where this is going. 5,000 speedrun. It is no surprise that Doncic has actually managed to do it, but since his scoring has been off the charts ever since the start of his NBA career, he is the fastest Maverick ever to score 5,000 points. Since entering the league, he achieved this feat faster than any active player. Even in his rookie year alone, he was averaging 21.1 points, which is even more than LeBron, who averaged 20.9. Then, in his 2nd year, he surpassed Dirk Nowitzki's career-high points per game in a season, with whopping 28.8 points per game. He reached 5,000 career points in his 3rd year through 197 games, 3 less than it took LeBron James to hit the exact same mark. Most 45-pointers. Not only was he the fastest Maverick to reach 5,000 points, but he's also got the most 45-point games in Mavericks history. Well, actually, he's tied with Mark Aguirre for the most in franchise history, but it's still borderline impressive. Most would assume this record was easily held by Dirk Nowitzki, but this is actually not true, as he's got 3, and respectfully owns the 2nd place. Game winner. When the NBA resumed its season in late 2020 at the bubble in Orlando after the initial spread of the well-known pandemic, Luka put the NBA on notice by literally making the bubble his own personal playground. His 43, 13, and 17 performance and a game-winner 3-pointer in Game 4 was one of the best performances both his career and the playoffs have ever seen. He therefore became the youngest player in the NBA history to hit a playoff game winner. Clipper snipper. Now, this next stat is actually quite funny. If you look at Luka's top scoring nights, there's a common theme. He was just unable to stop terrorizing the LA Clippers for the last few years, and it seems just like they have yet to find a solution for his magic. He scored 51, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, and 42 against them, 4 of which came in the playoffs. He also averages 31.4 points per game for his career against the Clippers, on 47.5% shooting. Just imagine those numbers translating into all the games.
In a world of hurt again! Oh, look at that smile!
Mr. Clutch. We can't just not talk about Luka and his ability to pull out wins in late game situations that often look closer to an L rather than a W. Ever since the day he stepped on the NBA hardwood, his effective field goal percentage in the clutch has increased year by year. He's shooting 58.2% right now in that regard, which is easily one of the best marks in the league. Drafted by Hawks. Many people still don't know that Luka wasn't actually drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. His journey that night was rather dynamic. The Mavericks held the 5th pick in the 2018 NBA draft, and even though that's pretty great, they still feared that he would be selected before their selection came. As a result, the Mavericks took a literal leap of faith and essentially traded Trae Young, who they selected as the 5th pick, for the Slovenian magician. Supporting communities. Whether he's in Dallas or in his hometown of Ljubljana, Slovenia, he's making magic happen on and off the court. He's constantly supporting and providing for his local communities. One of the biggest things he's done recently is build a basketball court in the neighborhood he was born in. Well, he actually didn't build it, just renovate it, but it was in desperate need of a caring Luka, who spent days and nights training on that very court. In Dallas, he spends time visiting children at the hospital, bringing them gifts, and especially during the pandemic, other things that the hospitals were in need of. He also supplied financial aid for those who were affected by the snowstorm that blew through the region last December. I mean, how can you not like this guy? Signed Madrid at 13. It's hard to explain just how impressive this is, and you only notice it when you really start thinking about where you were when you were 13 years old. European teams are often disregarded by the NBA fans, yet many fail to realize that all of the teams in EuroLeague are actually professional teams, just like those in the NBA, with the difference that they're not in America. By any measure, it is immensely impressive that Doncic was receiving offers to play professionally at just 13 years of age, let alone from one of the best teams in Europe. But if we take a look at his overall success, the puzzle starts to form into an image, which leads us one step closer to realizing how special Luka actually is.